did say under oath that you told him to let the Flynn, you said you hoped the Flynn investigation, you could
I didn't say that.
So he lied about that.
Well, I didn't say that. I mean, I will tell you, I didn't say that.
So he said those things under oath. Would you be willing to speak under oath to give your version of those events?
100%.
President Trump ready to go under oath in the Russia investigation. He responded to reporters' questions about his conversations with former FBI Director James Comey, who testified that the president asked him to back off the Flynn investigation. It has been a remarkable week in Washington. Here with their insights on it, former Trump campaign strategist David Urban, Democratic Congressman Luis Gutierrez, former Republican House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Rogers, and Neera Tanden. She is the president and CEO of the Center for American Progress. David, to you. Will the president regret this pledge of 100% he's willing to testify?
No, the president's not going to regret it at all. The president wants to cooperate. The president will cooperate, has been cooperating, and will continue to do so. Listen, Director Mueller has an investigation ongoing and will be ongoing for quite some time. The president will have a great big, has a legal team, has a lawyer in place, and will listen to his lawyer. But the president will cooperate. I don't suspect that he will not for 1 second. And so what he said, he will follow through on.
We asked the question over and over. Do you believe the former FBI director, or do you believe President Trump on this? It's a he said thing. But in a court of law, Chairman, that's not always the case, right? Considering that Comey had memos here. Those get some weight, don't they?
They do. The one problem here, I think, on both sides of this, well, first of all, that we're talking about this at all, when the Russian influence in the investigation hardly came up in those, influence in the election, hardly even came up in those things. And with all the world problems, we are very narrowly focused. And what I saw in that hearing was really I think confirming my mother's old adage that if you're going to practice the lesson of meanness, be careful, it might just take. And what you saw there was two personal individuals, both pretty angry about what was going on, play out in the court of public opinion. Bad day for the president in the court of public opinion. What I saw there did not rise to the legal status of obstruction of justice.
You're shaking your head, Neera.
I mean, what happened here is the FBI director took contemporaneous notes. So it does add to the legal weight of what happened. And we must have watched different hearings because it seemed to me I saw the merits, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what a court of law and what the special prosecutor thinks. And I think after what the president said on Friday, I hope he will obviously cooperate with the special prosecutor. But we need to get answers in the public. So I hope he will testify in Congress about this conversation. Director Comey has testified. He should testify. We should be able to see the president answer questions, specific questions about this, not at a press conference, but with the Senate.
I do want to talk about something that Donald Trump Jr. said because it's pretty fascinating. Yes. This was an interview to Fox News, and he seems to suggest that the president did indeed tell James Comey, hey, I hope this happens. I hope that you will let this go. Take a listen.
When he tells you to do something,
yes,
guess what? There's no ambiguity in it. There's no, hey, I'm hoping. You and I are friends. Hey, I hope this happens, but you got to do your job. That's what he told Comey. And for this guy as a politician to then go back and write a memo, oh, he felt so threatened, but he didn't do anything.
Yes,
hey, that's what he told Comey. No, the president says that is not what he told Comey. He's saying that he didn't express any hope on this, Congressman.
Well, here's, I think, he said 100% he's ready to testify under oath. Comey's already testified under oath. There's one thing we all know about FBI and FBI agents is you cannot lie to an FBI agent. That in and of itself is a lie. And it's a crime. Yeah. And he came under oath and spoke. So here's what I think we should do. We should just call his bluff. I mean, this is the same president of the United States that said to us, 100%, I'm going to give you my income taxes. If I could just finish. That way we could all get a word in. He said 100%, I'm going to give you my income taxes. 100%, 100%. We've never seen him. Let's call his bluff now. And let's remember, as my friend Mr. Rogers has suggested to us, what happened to the investigation into the undue influence of a foreign country in our electoral process. But at the same time, this has gone from an intelligence committee setting to a judiciary committee setting.
They're doing that.
If I could just finish. Why is that? Because now we're talking about what the president said to the director of the FBI.
Is this a problem?
And
David,
he asked the vice president to leave the room. He asked the vice president to leave the room, and he asked the attorney general to leave the room when he had that conversation.
So we've heard from...
But David, just back to the point about Don Jr. He is saying that his father did do this thing that his father says he did.
He was in the room. Two people were in the room. Inappropriate. We've heard from numerous legal scholars, okay? Lawyers, professors. Other than Jeff Toobin, nobody thinks there's a crime here.
False.
No,
That's
inappropriate.
false.
It's my turn. It's my turn here. Sorry. We're taking turns. It's my turn.
But there are
inappropriate.
I mean,
no,
David,
inappropriate.
No,
Brianna,
David.
can I finish?
But David, if you say something that is
factual.
I am saying
there
something
are
factual.
people who say
Are you
this
gonna let
is
me
a
finish?
problem.
Inappropriate doesn't rise to the level of specific corrupt intent. Okay, that's what
But
you need
it
to prove.
could, and that's what
Well,
some
you know
legal
what?
experts are saying.
Many legal experts are saying exactly what you're saying is wrong.
Tell me who they are, Nair.
By that
I mean,
testimony alone,
Lawful
I think
Blog,
you
there are
can't-
5. The Washington Post, there's five legal scholars.
Based on what you heard there yesterday, or
Yes,
last
based
week,
on
you
what
did.
they heard on Friday, because the president
and why?
tucking people out of the room. If what the FBI director said is true, the language I hope has been.
That's an
Okay,
if. It's a
but-
chasm the size of the
But
Grand
this,
Canyon.
this whole thing tells
it's
you
just
why it
wrong
should
what
be
you're
left in the
saying.
hands of the special prosecutor.
You have a special
Absolutely.
prosecutor.
You are never going to get a honest assessment of what that testimony meant or meant not. It didn't mean. You can have lawyers talk about. There was lots of impeachable statements by the director of the FBI in his testimony, right? So if you're talking about a legal standard, which should be very, very high, certainly that testimony alone didn't meet it. And so, best to leave this
No,
really,
it didn't.
other
I
than
don't
the
know
court of
why you're
public
saying that.
opinion, where
And the
this is going to
assistant
be.
director, listen, last week,
Democrats
I'm
want to
sorry.
be
Can I just
the
say for
Republicans
one
want
word
to
here? There are numerous legal scholars who say that what the president did rises to obstruction of justice. Now, maybe you don't think it is, and I'm glad we have a special prosecutor that was fought by this White House, but thankfully we have one that will make this determination. But it is absolutely false to say nothing the president did. If Director Comey is right and Trump is wrong, which, he said he had tapes, we were going through together, then we have a case of obstruction.
And my friends,